What's up everybody, Teancum here with Sew Yeah Quilting. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you make this side step quilt by using only a 10-inch square pack and some white fabric. Let's get started. As always, we're going to dive right on into the cutting instructions, but before we get there, just like to give a shout out to a new fabric manufacturer that's out there. It's called Felicity Fabrics. These are some fabrics from them, and also the quilt behind us. It's a really cutesy kind of lines. But you'll see all the prints today, so let's get started. As you can see in front of me, I've already opened up my layer cake, or 10-inch square in this case, and it's time to cut it down. I'm going to grab my ruler here and my cutter, and we're going to cut this down to 2 blocks that are 8.5 by 4.5 inches wide. So I always like to start with my shorter piece here, so I'm going to start with my 4.5. So that's my first one. I'm going to turn the whole block around and do my second 4.5. That way I can always just be cutting on the same side. This is going to be the only piece really of scrap that you're going to have from your 10-inch squares. Other than we're going to cut this down now to 8.5 inches. I'm going to be using the lines on my mat here to get me my straight cut. So that's one piece. I'm going to do the same to this block here. So you're going to repeat this process with 28 to 30 of your favorite 10-inch squares out of your pack here, which I've already gone ahead and done. And I've got a lot of different colors here that I've chosen. The next thing that you're going to want to do is the exact same process and cut 4.5 by 8.5 inch rectangles out of whatever solid or whatever color you like for your background. I've chosen white in this case. I think it looks the best, it makes the colors pop the best. So I've already cut these, and I've cut these guys. It's time to sew them together. A couple things to keep in mind here. If we look here at the top, you can see we have one print, one white, and then 2 half squares here. Our half squares will be made out of our 10-inch squares and also out of some white fabric. What you're going to do is you're going to cut out of both some of your prints that you have left over from your 10-inch squares and your white 5 by 5 squares and cut them directly in half, making 2 half square triangles. Well, they're not half square triangles. They're just triangles, more than anything. These will act as our edges here, here, and so on down our quilt. So now that we have our white and now that we have our prints, we're going to start assembling our rows together. It's a very easy cutout quilt, but we're going to assemble them in smaller increments to larger increments and then back down. So we have 2 halves here and our print, half here, print, white, half. So on and so forth. We're going to build these rows to be in this order. So let's start right now. First I'm going to take one of my prints, one of my whites, and sew that quilter's 1/4 inch here. I like to build all the rows and then add my half triangles here at the end. It makes it a little bit easier for me. So I've got my print and my white. I'm going to just turn this around here. I'm going to add another print, and I've already layered my stack here to be print, white, print, white. And I'm going to keep doing this process for whatever length that I need. Right now I'm going to be working on the largest one here. So I'm going to get that all sewn together. So I'm going to keep building my strips. So now that I've sewn my row here, I'll show everyone what it's starting to look like. I'm going to iron everything towards the dark side and iron them really well. So once you've made your rows, it's time to add on our corner pieces or our end pieces like you see here. All you're gonna do is you're gonna put your half square triangle down, and I like to line up my top edge here, and then sew all the way down. And then before the question is asked, yes, there are lefts and right sides to this, but it depends on the row that you're on. So what I highly recommend is go down to the comment section or down to the description section and print out our diagram of how to assemble. It will help a lot. My next side, and if you noticed, it's the exact opposite or reverse or mirror of my last seam that I just did. And now what I'm going to do is iron my last two seams here to make sure everything lays down flat. So we got a little bit carried away and we've put together some of our rows. It's better for you to see at home how this is laid out. But essentially we're working from left to right here, building each and every row. And all you have to do is line up our edges here to make this quilt as square as possible, to make sure you have proper spacing between all your rows, which I'm going to show you here in just one second. But just be mindful or notice that we start out with two halves, half, whole, half, half, whole, half, and we're just going to keep building up one half at a time. So like I said, we're going to line up our edges, and we're going to be sewing all of these into a straight line essentially. I want to make sure everyone can see that on camera. Just a straight line. And the only difference is on the middle one, our very, very last middle one, it makes it into a point. So when I lay this down, you'll see that now we have a point, and we're going to just keep sewing on down our quilt. So I'm going to put this in the exact same spot, and we're going to sew all the way down. So we got that seam on, and we're gonna keep adding on our seams all the way down. I'm gonna do that right now and show you what the quilt looks like. So I just finished sewing our last row together, so let's show you guys what it looks like. This is a super fun project to make. I love that side step kind of look that you get once it's all done up. But if you've liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. As always, we're going to leave instructions on how to make this quilt down in the description below. And what I'm going to do to finish off this quilt is I'm going to make sure it's all square. If I need to square it a little bit, I will do that. But then I'm going to take it across the building to our in-house longery to have it finished. A quick little plug-in though is on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. and on Saturday nights at 6 p.m. we offer a Newstash and a Destash. It's a really fun time. It's all live, so please join us there. My name's Teancum, teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you here next week at Sew Yeah Quilting.